Here's something worth sitting with for a moment. You pay your bills on time. You don't max out your credit cards. You've never bounced a check. You budget, more or less. You're not reckless with money. And yet, somehow, by the third week of every month, things feel tight again. Not disaster tight. Just tight enough that you notice. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not doing anything obviously wrong. That's actually the strange part of this story. Let's look at someone real. Not a worst-case example. Not a cautionary tale. Just an ordinary, responsible person. He's 31, works in project management, brings home around $4,200 a month after taxes. He's not in debt trouble. He pays his credit card in full most months. He has a car loan of $380 because he needed something dependable for the commute. Rent is $1,450 for a decent one-bedroom, nothing extravagant. A student loan payment of $240, left over from a degree that was supposed to make all of this easier. And a gym membership, a couple of subscriptions, occasional dinners out with friends, because he works hard and believes he's earned some normalcy. On paper, none of this looks irresponsible. It looks like an average life, lived reasonably. So here's the uncomfortable question. If he's doing everything right, why does he still feel financially behind? The answer isn't a mistake. It's a pattern. And the pattern is this: modern financial life is built around exactly matching your income to your lifestyle, so that you always feel stable, and never feel behind, and never feel ahead either. You're not sinking. But you're not moving. And most people mistake not sinking for doing fine. Let's put numbers to it. After rent, car payment, and student loan, he's already spent $2,070, just over half his income, before groceries, utilities, or a single discretionary dollar. Add basic utilities and groceries, maybe $600. Add the quieter layer, subscriptions, the occasional takeout, a few social outings, maybe $450. That's $3,120 out of $4,200. What's left is around $1,080. Some goes to savings, if he remembers. Some goes to just in case. By the time the month resets, there's rarely much left over, and almost nothing is meaningfully growing. Here's the part that matters. If that $1,080 was consistently invested instead of absorbed by small lifestyle costs creeping upward year after year, tracking something as simple as average long-term market growth over 25 years, it wouldn't just add up. It would compound into something close to $1 million. Not from a windfall. Not from a lucky bet. Just from consistency, protected from lifestyle inflation. That's the real cost of staying financially disciplined but not financially intentional. The discipline keeps you from falling apart. It doesn't automatically build anything. So why does this happen to people who are, by most definitions, doing the right things? Because financial decisions are rarely made with a calculator. They're made with a nervous system. A car that feels safe and reliable isn't just transportation, it's peace of mind. A slightly nicer apartment isn't just square footage, it's the feeling of having arrived somewhere. Dinner with friends isn't just food, it's belonging. None of these choices are foolish. They're deeply human. The pressure isn't only internal, either. Everyone around you is spending at a similar pace, financed the same quiet way, so nothing looks unusual. Nobody's Instagram shows their loan balance. What you're comparing yourself to isn't other people's wealth. It's other people's monthly payments, dressed up to look like wealth. If this pattern continues for years, the outcome isn't dramatic. There's no single collapse. It's slower than that. It's a person who has been working diligently for a decade, and still doesn't have meaningful savings, because every raise was quietly absorbed by a slightly upgraded version of the same lifestyle. It's a growing dependency on the next paycheck, even for someone earning well above average. It's freedom, technically possible, but perpetually postponed, because there's always a once things settle down that never quite arrives. Not poverty. Just a very well-disguised version of standing still. Now here's what tends to separate people who actually build wealth, and it's rarely raw income. It's usually a shift in how they relate to time and comfort. They tend to think in decades, not months. They're comfortable with a car that's a few years old, an apartment that's fine but not impressive, a lifestyle that doesn't visibly announce success. What they're building isn't loud. Nobody sees a growing investment account the way they see a new car in a driveway. That's the trade-off. Quiet wealth versus visible comfort. Most people default to visible comfort because it's rewarded socially in real time. Quiet wealth is rewarded later, invisibly, and that makes it much harder to choose. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about noticing which spending is genuinely improving your life, and which spending is just matching everyone else's pace, without ever asking why. None of this means the person in this story is failing. He's not reckless. He's not making bad decisions in any obvious sense. He's simply living inside a system that's very good at keeping people financially even, and very quiet about the cost of staying that way. Most people aren't bad with money. They're just financially unaware, in a very ordinary, very human way. Awareness is where anything different actually begins. Not guilt. Not urgency. Just paying attention to where the money is actually going, instead of assuming it's fine because nothing feels obviously wrong. If this gave you a slightly different way of looking at your own spending, consider subscribing. There's more of this kind of thinking coming.